Hi guys, it's Jimmy again. So today I'm gonna talk about which programming language you should learn first. If you wanna make the web app, the web application, I'm not talking about the bigger web app or the web software like QuickBooks or something really extraordinary like the enterprise, the banking use it. I'm talking about the web app like a small web app. Even Facebook was a web app. Now it has really grown into a web software like a web platform. So to build a web app, first you need to learn the basic markup language. It is HTML, CSS, and then the first properly programming language you should learn JavaScript because JavaScript is a dynamic language. HTML and CSS is a markup language. Most people call as a programming language. To be honest, you have to mark it. Um, Open slash HTML closing this is really a markup language. You mark up how your text will look, how the color will look, what kind of font should be used. You are telling the computer or the browser how to interpret and then how to show up in the web browser. Basically, HTML and CSS is a markup language. Whoever is telling with a programming language, he's just trying to screw you with up. The first properly programming language, the true programming language, is a client-side programming language which is JavaScript. So there are two kind of programming language. One is server-side programming language, which is PHP. Java is a compiled language, and then Ruby is first. Let me talk about the client-side language. Whenever you open the web browser, it will load the programming language load on your browser on your machine rather than on the server. You don't have to wait the data to input and output. Client side language is really good. Basically JavaScript, most of us guys use the JavaScript framework jQuery. You can really now build games in JavaScript. It had really become so mature. Before, guys used to build games in C++, C# or Java and JavaScript is a different language. It's a common name. It's really different. They really don't have anything in common. Java have nothing to do with JavaScript. Get out of your mind. JavaScript is a client-side language. It tells the web browser how it will behave. You see some kind of animation is moving, or a bar is coming up, or something is fading in, fading out. That is made by JavaScript. Basically, it's animation. It make your web browser to do the animation stuff. It's quite easy to learn. You don't have to worry about compile. You don't have to install anything. First learn the two major markup language. Of course, there's only the two major markup language. Even the XML is a markup language. That is for later. First, you have to learn HTML. Don't learn HTML5. Learn HTML, then CSS, then learn HTML5 because HTML5 is a little bit hard compared to learning the HTML. Because HTML5 will be fully implemented by 2020 2021. Don't worry about that. Just try to learn HTML, CSS, and then learn the first markup language JavaScript, and then try to learn the framework jQuery. There are many framework, but jQuery is the most properly the famous framework. So what is a framework? There is a programming language JavaScript and framework. Framework try to make your work easier. You don't have to write 10 line of code. You can just write 1 or 2 line of code because already somebody written for you. But some JavaScript pro guys like to write the code by themselves. They really don't want to use the framework. It's up to you. But in JavaScript, some of the function you cannot find. You have to really write that. You really know what you are doing. You really have to understand the basic fundamental of JavaScript. If you go with the jQuery framework, you can really, if you really don't understand what is going behind the scenes, still you can write the JavaScript code. So after that, I will tell you to choose the one of two major programming language, the server side. It is PHP or Ruby. I'm gonna tell you right now, Ruby guys make 10% premium than PHP. We don't know guys why, because the name look a little bit nicer to say I'm a programmer in Ruby or I love Ruby. I don't know. Even the one another point you have to write less code in Ruby, but be careful. Most of enterprise, basically not enterprise are using Java. Most of the startup company are building the application in PHP. Most of the major CMS contact management system, Drupal, Joomla, WordPress are coded in PHP. I will suggest you to learn PHP because every day there are hundreds of jobs come out for PHP compared to Ruby, because PHP is a really old language. Most people hate and most people say it's not secure, it's not fast, whatever. Still, PHP is gonna stay for next 50 to 100 years. It's really not a joke. When C, the compiled language come out, many people were saying this language just will stay for 5 years, but more than 50 years now, C is still here. So learn PHP. So PHP is a really very stable language. Most of CMS, if you know PHP, you can, if you're gonna build a website, you just buy a theme, you just make a custom change in it, and you just sell to your client. It's quite easy. After that, if you really want, you can go with the Ruby, because Ruby guys make 10% premium, because finding a Ruby developer is quite hard, because most of guys learn PHP. Basically, it's a risk. You go with PHP or Ruby, it depends. It's not a risk, but most people think going with Ruby is not good going with PHP, because everybody is using PHP, but Ruby guys are in demand, so it's up to you. After that, you really want to move into high stuff, or you want to develop some real software of the desktop software, or you want to program in the Android market. You need to learn Java. Really, Java is a, to be honest, learning Java will take you 6 months to 1 year. You cannot learn Java in 1 month. You can learn PHP in 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, you are really building some stuff, and then you can see the result. Most of guys who start learning Java, right, they skip the PHP or any server-side language, and then just jump up to compile language, whether it's Java or C++ or C sharp. They get frustrated because you are learning for 4 or 5 months. Still, you cannot build anything. Nearly, I will say the minimum after 6 months you will start building something in Java compared to PHP. In PHP, to be on the minimum is 1 week. After that, you can build stuff. In HTML, CSS, minimum is 1 to 2 days. Java at least needs 6 months to 1 year, because Java have a lot of core fundamentals. You have to really understand Java, because Java is a famous language. Java address the portability, security side, because Java is a quite secure language compared to C, and then even performance. Java is sometimes faster than the C compiled language. I mean the C++ or C sharp. Java have a lot of loopholes. Still, Java is back right now, because in 2002 or 2003, most people were saying Java is dead. So basically, Java was developed by the Sun Microsystem. It was developed to compete with C. It was the language to program the electronic device, your car, your oven, your digital stuff. But after that, it become a web language. Most of the now the application, the applets are built on Java, because Java, if you really need to build a major website like enterprise website, you definitely go with Java. If you want to build something like next Facebook, next some kind of community, go with PHP or Ruby. It will do you better, because Java is a overhead. But if you want to build a game, because most of guys know Angry Bird, the Vietnamese guy who have built that, he really become a millionaire now. So now he just take out his game. That guy just learn Java, basic Java, and then learn how to make the game. He learned bitmapping. Bitmapping is photoshopping, making the graphics of the games. Just, and then he work on it and then publish his game. So now he is earning money, to really earn some high end money. Because if you just make a scrappy game, every day you can earn about 10 US dollar. To be honest with you, every day you can earn 10 US dollar just from a crappy game on the Android market space. But you have to stay patient. You have to learn Java every day. At least you need to spend 2 hours. You need to buy the book called Sam Teach You Java in 24 hours. Basically, it's 24 days, not 24 hours. Because every day you need to take 1 hour from that book. And then you probably need to go with lynda.com. I think they cost $29 per month. Unlimited video. You need to watch their tutorial. And then you need to definitely, because I learned Java by a book, but the book is quite expensive. The book is a big Java book. It costs about $149 US dollar. It's the most expensive book. Basically, it's the reference of the Java Bible, but it really teach you very easily how to learn Java. Most of like Sam Teach in 24 hours is a good book. Java Programming for Dummies is a good book, but if you really want to understand what is going on, because for Java you have to understand what is going on behind the scene. In PHP, nobody care what is going on. You know how to make a database. I mean, MySQL or MySQL, however you say it. But you just plug it, duct tape it, your application work. In Java, it is not like that. Single mistake can give you a error or it can screw your application. Whether you are building a games in Eclipse or you are building a enterprise website for in the applet framework, you really have to understand what is going on. So let's recap. Learn two markup language, HTML, CSS, then learn the first client-side programming language, JavaScript, and then master or become perfect as a jQuery framework, and then learn PHP, the first server language, PHP or Ruby. It's up to you, but I will say go with PHP. You can easily get a job even without any degree, without any education. They are really hiring the PHP developer, the PHP developer in demand. And then jump to Java. I will suggest Java. Don't jump to C or C++. C is now used for the electronic guys, and C++ or C sharp is used for the software. Same compared to Java. But I will say go with Java. Because if you know C, you can get a job, but you cannot build the application from your home where you can earn the money or you can start paying your bill. Learn Java, and then you can build the Android app. So that is for today. Subscribe my channel. So I'm thinking to start a Java tutorial for you guys. Most of I'm about in 20 episode I will do. So let's see what I will do in coming week. So I'm writing. I already made my blog called www.geek.com. It's my blog. Every day I'm trying to publish a post about the technology, what's going on. So try to read that and then subscribe my channel. It's Jimmy a Geek. Bye, Nara.